Welcome back to my WWF LJN Customs channel, where this time around I'm going to turn this Paul Orndorff into a Mr. T. I've done a Mr. T before, but this one I want to be Rocky, from Rocky, where he clubber leg. And so I want something in more of a pose style, and I'm going to put boxing gloves on him, boxing trunks and such. So I went ahead and decapitated Paul. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this head on him that's already molded out of resin of a Mr. T that Al Baker has done for me. So what I need to do is trim the bottom of this off, and I do this with my little device that I have to sand it down basically. And then I'll just mold it onto here, and we'll go from there. And then it's pretty much just a repaint, so that's pretty easy to do. Okay, so for what I'm going to do with Mr. T is I've got his head here. I've got a little Dremel tool, and the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to have to put this down and just show you the after effects. So I'll take my Dremel tool, which is pretty handy. It's got a little sander at the end of it, which I need to clean off. I'll put it at a high rate, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this down because you got a big old neck on him, and I don't need it quite that big, so I'll pretty much take it down to about right here. The Dremel should do it well. So I'm going to do this and, show you how it looks. All right, so after taking the mask off, in just a few short minutes, I am able to reduce Mr. T's head with my Dremel, and the stuff goes about everywhere there. So what I do is I check the head on Paul Orndorff. It looks much better. I'll be able to fill that in with epoxy, and we'll go from there. So he's good. What I now need to do is I will do my normal drill a hole, cut a nail, and then put the nail in the head, and then I'll put the epoxy around it like I normally do. So he'll be good to go in just a little bit. Okay, so once his focus is in, so here's got the nail driven in. Got the 2 holes on the heads with my drill that I used, and it goes pretty good through the resin, so just put that there. Looks pretty good. I like how it sits. It will probably sit a little bit higher once I got the epoxy on there, but that's okay. So Mr. T's ready to go. Okay, next step for Mr. T was just putting the epoxy on. So what I did is I got the 2 parts epoxy, which I've shared in other videos before, mixed it together for a couple minutes, and then you just kind of layer it on and let it go. So I see I've got a little bit of an edge there that I need to take down, but you wet your fingers down and see how easy that is. Pretty easy to use. You let it harden overnight, and then you can just paint it. You can scrape off any extras that you don't need, and then you're good to go. So here is Clubber Lang, who's Mr. T. Shorts. I changed his color to pool blue. His skin is great for melted chocolate. That works really well. And I just put his gloves on here, and those are going to be bright red tomorrow. So he actually doesn't have a whole lot left to do. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, here's the finished product for Clubber Lang. Colors that I used: melted chocolate, bright red, pool blue, the typical snow white, and then the jet black as well. So the only thing I really would add is I can get a belt sometime. The 181 from Rocky in the movie, and I think he will be all set. So, boy, that's pretty good. Really enjoyed doing this one to see if I could do the boxing gloves, and I don't think they look too bad. And I'll say that all the time, but that way you can see kind of the inside parts of them, and then a little bit on the outside too. Andre the Giant Project is hiding behind him over there, and you say hi to Scott Steiner. But there you go. Let me know what you think.